How's everybody doing? Good. Your parents? So pumped that you're in here, like to chat as well. My name's Scott. It's nice to see all of you. I've met some of you already, but it's been really great getting to work with all the dancers. So I actually want to just start with opening up for questions. To try to get as much value as possible. So, we can kind of lead that way. I want especially the parents to think. I want you to think questions about dancing or competition day or training or anything that might help you even or to support them. But even if you want to ask questions of just about training or whatever that you want them to hear. So, and I've also told them that they can ask questions too if it's about things that they want the parents to hear as well, because it's all about trying to navigate this all together. Because this is dancing and competition day and all that. It's hard. It's hard because it's hard. Not because of anything else. These are hard things to do. And I've had different people in Irish dance that are wait, what do you you do mindset and all these things? I don't understand why we would need that. It's very old school thinking too, of well, I didn't need that, so why would they? We all agree, Olympic teams, national teams, all need sports psychologists, mentors, mindset work, all of that. We're sending kids on a regional, national, world level stage, and we're gonna assume that they don't need that as well. They absolutely do. But so do you parents. Not because there's anything wrong with any of you, not at all. It's because it's really hard. And I'm actually currently drafting a parent's survival guide to competition day. And I'm just gonna make it free for everybody, but it's from a dancer's perspective. I'm not a parent, so it's a unique thing. And it's one of those hard conversations too of how do we support in a way, and it's also make sure that it's not about us. It's about the dancer in their day. That being said, that doesn't give a dancer free passes to just be a jerk to your parents. It's gonna happen a little bit, but you don't get a free pass, that's for sure. But the only glimpse I've ever gotten into your world is myself and my buddy. We have a production company. We made our first show, toured around the country, everything. We were in the show. We made a show, it was our first project that we weren't in the show. And when it was opening night, all day, this is so great. We don't have to be in it. We don't have to worry about anything. The work's done, all this. This is so relaxing instead of having to think about what we gotta do on stage. And the second the show started, it was oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh no. Because we were just as nervous, cared just as much, knew all the things that could go wrong, and we had zero control. So it was my glimpse into what you feel on the day, because you care just as much, if not more, but you have no control. So it's such a hard feeling. It's so hard. So the big thing, remember for everybody, dancers, parents, even teachers, no one is a good problem solver on the day, because we're here. Think about when you're having your most oh my God day, are you a good problem solver? Nobody is. So it's one of those things that I've seen people have full meltdowns about the easiest things. And it's hard because we don't want to treat it that way on the day. But what we want to do is acknowledge what's going to happen, because all of you dancers, all of you, are the world's leading expert in you, followed by a close second, or whoever's with you. But you know what's going to affect you on the day. You know what's going to bother you on the day. You parents, you know what's going to bother you on the day. And so we need to acknowledge these things and work on them ahead of time so that when they pop up, not if, when they pop up, we already know what to do. Otherwise, we could have a full meltdown because, oh my God, I forgot my pool socks. Okay, go buy something. And sometimes our brains can work clearly like that. Sometimes it's oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. And I don't know any dancer that doesn't go on stage nervous, right? You're nervous. That's not a bad thing. It's because you care. Nerves are not bad. But throughout the day, our stress is rising. And it's those taking donations, the thermometer thing, rising. I want to picture that. And throughout the day, our stress is rising, our nerves are rising. If it crosses a certain line, then we lose control. That's when we do silly things on stage, silly mistakes. We don't do what we want. That's what happens. So all we need to do is just stay under that line. You're allowed nervous, as long as you stay under that line. But a lot of these things that happen on the day, like we just, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And then when you actually, because the one we cannot get rid of is being nervous dancing on stage. So by the time we get on stage, if that's gonna put us over the line or already above the line, we're screwed. Doesn't matter how prepared you are, if that happens, everything goes out the window. So we wanna make sure that we're keeping everything under. And the good part about that is most things on the day are actually that same one. Like, I love when a dancer says, one of their big things, they have like meltdowns about their makeup. Normal. But I say, cool, every day, like if your makeup isn't perfect, like do you freak out you can't leave the house? They're like, well, no, not really. I'm like, then it's not about the makeup. It's about dancing on stage. You're stressed about that because you're dancing on stage. It's the same thing, and we're just copy and pasting it, but calling it other stuff. So if we acknowledge that, and we let it out, it's one of those things, let the breakdowns happen on the day. When you bottle it up, oh my goodness. Like, and it's one of those things too, I don't know if any parents have ever like caught themselves doing this, or I know teachers have, whatever. Some dancer could be having an absolute meltdown about something like hair or makeup or whatever, and it's real easy to just like snap and be like, this doesn't matter right now, this isn't like, and just like we're harsh about it sometimes because we're here. And like teachers, we do too. But who in their right mind would ever treat someone upset and crying that way, right? So I love being there. I'm like, let me help. I'm like, let it out. Cry your eyes out. Great. If it's not 10 minutes before you have to go on stage, cry your eyes out. We'll fix your makeup. It's fine. You gotta let it out. And once they do, and they come back down, I just look them in the eyes and say, now is that really about the hair? And every time they're like, no, I'm just so nervous about on stage. Exactly. So let's call it what it is. Get through that, but then just deal with that instead of so much, and now all of a sudden we're there. Any parents or dancers like ever get like snippy with each other on the day? Right? Normal. So normal. It's also one of those things. Let's have those conversations ahead of time, and like it's almost like pre-forgiving each other. Like, hey, I know I'm gonna be up here. I know you're gonna be up here. We're all gonna be snippy with each other. As long as nobody crosses a line. Let's just understand so that we don't let it snowball into like this big thing, and then it makes the day worse. Because all that matters on the day, and this is the thing that the dancers need to hear more than the parents, is you have to do whatever works for you works. So like some people focusing on dancing and all that, it makes it better on stage. Awesome. Anybody in here get nervous enough on dance day that like, thinking about the dancing all day makes you worse? Quick nod, yeah. Then don't think about the dancing. Like, if you have to think about the dancing to do your job right, you haven't done your job in here. Like, does it make you worse because you're so nervous about it? Then why would we think about it? Because we're supposed to? We're supposed to be focused on game day? Who cares? It makes you worse? Why would we do it? Right? So don't think about dancing. Is there any way to avoid thinking about dancing when you walk on that stage? No. So you're gonna be fine. Focus and confidence is overrated. It is, because think of the day that you had an awesome day in here. Was it because all day you were thinking about Irish dance and you just felt like, I'm the most confident there is? No, there was no noise and you could just focus and do your job, right? Because neutral is where it's at. Everybody, like, we need neutral. Because everyone, even parent, and this is, all these things are like life is like, wow, it's not like, what I've learned is dance and life is all the same. Anybody trying to go from like not confident, nervous, shaky, all that, straight to like, I'm supposed to be confident and like positive and I'm gonna try to make that jump? Has anybody ever succeeded doing that? Going from fully negative to fully positive and confident? I don't think so, I've never seen it. So like, we need to get to neutral first. Then from neutral, we can do that. And the thing is, neutral, everybody thinks neutral's in the middle. Neutral, in terms of doing your job as dancers, neutral is right under confident. It's right there, because you don't need to be confident to do your job. You need to be neutral to do your job. My job, my coach, is to quiet the noise in your head so you can get back to doing your job. So that's why we were talking about such intentionality in your dancing. If you know what to do and what to think about, you can do it. Like parents, you should have seen some of the things I saw the last 2 days. It's unbelievable. The differences, like instant. It's just like, take a breath, go slow, think about what you're doing. And every single one of them was better. So cool. So cool. by the time you get on stage, you're not thinking about any kind of little detail, right? Anybody come off stage, I asked this yesterday, and you're like, hey, does anyone know, did I dance? Did I do my second step? Did I do the spins? I don't know what I did. Like, that's normal, all right? We don't need to be focused. It's just one of those things that you need to know what brings out your best dancing as a concept. Like thinking I need to push, or I really want that trophy, or if you need to think about nothing and it helps you, great. Who cares? I was on a call with a dancer this morning, and we were trying to figure out what it was that brought her best dancing out. She was trying to figure it out. I said, I don't care if you have to think of the color yellow, and when you think yellow, you dance amazing. Then we're gonna make sure that you are screaming yellow in your brain. It doesn't matter what it is, but you gotta find what you guys are doing instead of just dancing and guessing. If you like try to think push, did it work? Great, we're gonna stick with it. Did it not work? Cross it off. But that's your jobs, and as parent jobs to like try to like. You're basically, and this I mean this like in a good way. You're basically their assistant for the day, but not actually. So like dancers, that doesn't mean you get to treat them like they're your assistant. But like it's one of those things that's super hard on everybody, and we just acknowledge it's really hard. That's the thing. I think we go into it like so unprepared for how hard the day is going to be. We know it's hard, but we don't prepare for it. So that's the thing. So does anyone have any questions on like how to do that better, or like just specific situations, or like the more questions the better. I want to hear some things.
How can we stay warmed up mentally and physically if dances are delayed or like really spread out through the day?
Right, so it's at like a fashion sort of hard because you don't always know when it's going to be. It's more about, because I want you to think about if you were warm, and being warm is going to take energy, moving and stuff like that. Imagine doing that all day. You're going to be exhausted.
Right.
And it's a mentally exhausted day. Even mentally focused all day and warm up, that's exhausting. Like if you know you have a gap, take a break. And then warm up again. It's all those things. And every dancer should know what they need to warm up. What you need. There's need and then what you want to do. Need, just in case they're like, oh my goodness, we're starting in 10 minutes. Okay, what's your 5-minute warm-up routine that you have to go right now? If you don't have that plan, it's gonna be like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. But if you know what you need to do, it's great. It's more about like making sure that right before you're doing what you need to, it makes you feel better staying warm and focused. Great, do it. But if it doesn't, it's not necessary. Like the day of needs to be brought back to what's necessary. Otherwise, like we just get caught up with things like should. Like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good to take a break mentally and physically.
Any tips if they're like certain fetches are they're up there waiting for their dances for
A while.
a long time?
Right.
Like how in those times where they can't do jumping jacks or anything backstage?
Right. It comes down to do your best. That's also like you need to know your bodies and what is like the most susceptible to being cold and find room to do that. We talked earlier with all the dancers, like we want to train them to be cocky on the day. And like cocky is a bad thing, usually. Because it's walking around like you're better than everybody. At a competition, aren't we trying to say I'm better than everybody? So we want to train being cocky. But also a part of that, not in a bad way, not outwardly to others, you don't want to be cocky, but it's also you get to be selfish. So like you're on stage, and like you need room to like, you better find room to, I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother anybody. You better do what you gotta do. Don't kick anybody, of course. Like ask them to move if you can do that, or find space, whatever you need to do. Because you all know, like some of you can just walk in here cold and kick your face. That's amazing to me. I couldn't. That's something I would need to be doing side stage. If you know that's not what you need to do, great. What's your top things that you need to do? But it's the do your best. The good part about that is we gotta stop looking for ideal. Almost. We gotta stop looking and hoping for ideal. Because how many of you have ever been at a competition that start to finish the day like perfectly ideal? Has it ever happened? Ever? No. So why are we hoping for ideal? So it's one of those things we need to know. How am I still gonna be able to do my job? Have you ever been here and not had like the proper perfect time to warm up and everything like that? You still found a way to do your job? Then you can do it. It's like knowing that you can do it even if it's not ideal. So that's why we need to like strip it down to the the necessities of all that, because you can't do a full warm-up back there, you're right. And it's not fair that you're just standing in the back. But if I'm just like, oh my God, oh, I can just like, I've been standing here so long, I'm so cold. If you're thinking about those things, what aren't you thinking about? What do you have to do? So we can steer our brain of like, instead of thinking about the bad thing, what do we gotta do? What do we gotta do to do our job on stage? 'Cause it's just distractions at the end of the day. I don't look at any of this good, bad, whatever, it's just a distraction. Once you find out what you gotta do, anything else is a distraction. You gotta be clear on how to do your job. What else?
Why do judges score one thing one way and another judge assesses the same dance totally different?
Right.
Or then the next day,
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
you know, the 2-day gushers.
Because there's no rules. There's no rules. There's like to give you an insight into it, and I have such respect for like anyone that's taking TC, AD, all that. It's very different. And judging is hard. Judging is very, especially right now with like all the news going out and everything. The ones that want to get it right, it's so stressful because they don't want to look like the ones that aren't. It's so hard. It's just opinions. There's no rules. The AD exam is basically a math test, and then whatever your opinion is, you're trained to like defend it to the death. That's it. There's no rule. As long as they say that's what I thought, they can do whatever they want. And really, I will say, most times the we're judging, whether it's different judges or whatever, it's just different opinions. It's like 99% of the time is actually that, and then like, of course, like sometimes the bad ones cheat. But it's usually just weird. I will sit with some of my best friends that have been in Riverdance and Riverdance with me. Say there's 5 of us. One dancer, we will have 5 different opinions. It's crazy because we all have different things that we like or hate. Yeah, and like no dancer is perfect. Everyone has. This year at the Worlds, the senior men, Owen Lubers and Leo Costello, 2 of the best that have ever done it, ever. And it literally was just styles. Like who the judges? Everyone that was there was like it could have been either. And so you should hear also for me when I won the Worlds. 5 judges, only 2 of them like. First judge gave my friend first, I got 5th, and I genuinely was like, cool, it's over. Second judge gave me first, and then my friend 5th. So wait, I'm still in it. Third judge gave another one of my friends first. Fourth judge gave another guy first. 4 different firsts at the World Championships. And then last judge, I was lucky enough, I got the thing first, and I barely won. So it's one of those things that it's just, that's how it is. And I say, Cassie knows I harass her about this on our calls. But whenever you think like, okay, I don't agree with that, like, I really thought maybe I was better, or my dancer was better, whatever, you might be right from what you're seeing. Even like what you're seeing, you might be right. My first question is, well, did you blow them away? If you blew them away, like no question, everybody in the room was like, there's not even, like, it's not even close. Then, okay, we can be upset about that. If you didn't blow them away, you open the door for other opinions. So that's the thing, we have to always come back to like, what can we do better? Because like, there's a lot of crap out there for sure with the judging. We can't control anything. So once again, that's just noise. It's just noise at the end of the day. Like we don't want to be thinking about that before. Afterwards, okay, whatever. It's just random. It's just opinions, and there's no rules. And some are really good at it, and some judges are really bad at it. And that's how it is. Like some just like, what were you looking at? But they saw something they like. I don't know, or that they hated. That's how it works. We don't know. That's the thing. We'll never get to ask either. You get the comments, they don't even make sense, right? It's like, this is lovely dancer. Why'd you give me last? Right? And stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. It's things that we'll never do.
And then when they're learning new dances, how do you prioritize like rhythm, technique, and timing?
Always timing. Always timing first. Always. That is the one thing that no matter any judge, they will hate that. That's not an opinion thing. It's always timing first. And then how do we prioritize? I have a really easy hack for every dancer to know what you gotta prioritize. Like this is the easiest thing. Everyone, like pay attention, all the dancers. This is the #1 thing to know how to prioritize what to work on. Listen to her. That's it. Like she's calling out your biggest things. She's not like, you think she's just gonna be like, there's all these like really big issues, but you know what, I'm gonna tell them about the little one today. She's not doing that. like, listen to your teacher. It's one of those things, it's like, that's, if you're not sure where to start, what should you always say? That was a big theme of the weekend as well, like, I asked them, what are you all pretending like you don't already know? And like half of them were like, they already know what to work on. That's the thing. There's gonna be multiple. There's always multiple things to work on. What does she say the most? Do that one first. That's it. That's it. She has her best interest in heart. There's a reason you're all here, not somewhere else. So like, listen to your teacher. I've gone to some schools, and I can say that like I'm not just bragging because like she brought me in. I go to some schools and I can't say that confidently. I can't say, listen to your teacher. I don't know what they're doing. Here you can.
Thank you.
Yeah. What else? What do we got?
Well, you were told to have questions prepared. Who's got some questions? Don't be
Just
shy.
think of like the days that happened, what was wrong.
My prescription is Sydney, so I apologize for wasting last time, but, so if there is kind of a very last minute stressful situation, are there, I mean, I'm sure it varies per dancer, but like, are there best things to say and not say to just make sure that things go as fast as they possibly can?
That is, I think, probably the number one perfect question for a parent to ask. And the answer is no.
Okay.
This is what we need to have these conversations beforehand. They're not fun. And it's like, especially for some of the dancers, even young women, it's weird to talk about your feelings with your parents. But like, you have to, because like, say you need to be distracted away from dancing, and that's genuinely what they need the most. As a parent, you see them like worked up and super nervous, you're instinctively gonna try to help them, pep talk them, be like, you're gonna be so good. Now, that's bringing them back to thinking about dancing. But how are you supposed to know that? You don't know. You're doing your best. So that's why we have to talk to the dancer first. You're like, you're not gonna, dancer, you're not gonna like it either. It's like, I don't wanna talk to this, like, leave me alone. Because all of you are wired at times to do the opposite of whatever your parents say. They can say the exact perfect thing. It is 100% correct. And you're like, no. And you're gonna literally do the wrong thing on purpose. Like you're wired. So that's why it's one of those things, if your dancers, you need something from your parents, even if you know like on the day, like you might do that, if you talk about it ahead of time, you're less likely to throw the hissy fit about like, I'm not listening to you. Because you talked about like, hey, when I'm like this, do you mind helping me this way? So you might not like it in the moment, but at least you'll be more ready to accept it if you talk about it at the time. Every single one of them is completely different. Everyone's different. And everyone needs different things. And if you don't know what you need, start trying some random stuff. Like, okay, when I'm super nervous, like, I'm gonna try doing this, or distract myself. Try that, did it work? Great, keep it. Did it not? Scratch it. It's all trial and error. Day of is trial and error, in here is trial and error. Like, you don't know what you don't know. If you already knew the perfect thing to do, you'd already be doing it. Like it's for parents and dancers. But yeah, you know, like that's the hard part. Like, but we all go into the day just guessing. Dancers and parents, you're just guessing. Have to have that uncomfortable conversation ahead of time. What do you need? What do you need from me? What do you want? That way, like, you know what to do. Because it's so, like, you just feel so powerless. Like, do I? Do I not? Do I? Oh, it's so hard. I can't even imagine. It's hard. It's one thing that's hard because it's hard.
So what do you recommend when they've done their first dance and they come off and it's a question of how did I do? And you want to still stay positive for them.
Yep.
You don't want to be a negative for them. So you're in that middle road because you know they have 2 more dances to go.
Yep.
So what's the best, answer to how did I do? Because I don't really know how to answer that. Because you always say you did perfect.
Right.
But you don't want to say that either because they are looking for what did I do wrong? Did you see my arms go? Did you? It's just you walk that fine line. So.
Oh, it's fine line. You're so right. It's like a tightrope. You're like, oh,
You don't want,
I don't want to throw a grenade in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No matter what answer you give, you're
Yeah,
gonna
So like, this is my best advice, because even just like this group of parents, you all have varying levels of Irish dance knowledge. Like, some know a lot, some know a little. My parents, and to this day, they know nothing. The one in the world, still don't know. And I prefer it, I'm not gonna lie. But your job in that moment is to be a parent. They already have a teacher. So it doesn't matter if the teacher's there or not, your job is to be a parent. Support, support, support. Even if they're not accepting it, support. It's gonna pay off for the next dance, for the next fesh, for the next year, for the next phase of their lives. They already have a teacher. And most things, literally most things that, even if it did go wrong in the first round, it doesn't apply at all to the second round. So dancers will ask me, like, obviously I know what I'm talking about with dancing, like, what about the first round? I'm not talking about that. You have another, I'll talk to you once you're done dancing about what went wrong with that, or what needs to be better. It serves us 0% to talk about anything that went wrong or needs to be better until we're done. It doesn't, I'm obsessed with being productive and staying productive. So if it's not productive, why are we doing it? It's one of those things, it's just support. And it might, like, even if they were terrible, support. But phrase it in a way that's coming from you. Like, I thought you were amazing. I'm so proud of you. Because like, if it was bad, and you're like, you were perfect. They're not, obviously I wasn't perfect. But it's one of those things. I told them the story yesterday. I was at a nationals and like older team starting to get better. So no excuse. I did my steps completely out of order in my first round. Like I did my right foot and then I did my left foot of a different step. And then I did right foot of that step and then I did another step and then it was horrendous. To the point where I came off, usually sit, like my teacher's sitting there, usually come sit down and talk to her first. She just didn't even look at me. I was like, oh, I kept going. I got to my family, and all three of my siblings danced. They're horrified, jaws on the floor. And like my dad looked up from the paper, and my mom just looked. She's like, I thought it was amazing. But like, and like, there's a reason. Like that's a core memory of mine. That's what I needed in the moment. Because it was awful. Just supporting you. That's the thing. It's so hard because you want to help, but it's not helping. That's the thing. It's not actually helping. Like, dancers, you want to know too. Of course you're going to ask. I'm not going to tell you not to ask. You're going to ask. So like, that doesn't mean you parents have to actually tell them what went wrong. Like, some will see some things, some won't. Cool. Act like you did. Like, that was me. Like, or if you can't lie, just say like, we'll talk about that once you're done. That's it. It just serves no purpose until you're done. But it's just support. They already have a teacher. That's the thing. Like you want to help. If you telling them what they need to remember is the key to them doing the next round better or worse, then as dancers you have failed at preparation. You need your parents to tell you how to dance in order for you to dance well. That's like no offense to parents. It's like that means you haven't done your job. Right? A nice reminder is good. Like once again, that pre-competition talk. It's like, hey, I'm really trying to remember this. Could you remind me of these things? That's great. If they ask you, like, answer sure, like needing your parents to tell you how to do this. Like yeah. You shouldn't need that, right? Don't put that job on them. They're already having a stressful enough day trying to help you, and now you're going to ask them to be your teacher too. Don't give them more hats to wear. But yeah, support.
What if when your parents, when you ask the questions of how did I do, your parents know nothing about Irish dance and then they don't know what's good and what's bad?
They should. Same thing. Better. That's the thing. They don't, and like that's. But you know they don't know, right? So why are you listening to, like, if they gave you specific Irish dance advice, right? And like the thing is, a lot of you watch them, you know what you're talking about. Like, a lot of times, you actually do. But like, they're not gonna feel like you do. Like so many times I either see them privately and like, hey, like you want to say that exactly the wrong thing. They're like, what do you know? So like it's just once again they're here. They're not gonna listen. All of that. So that's the thing. It's if you know they don't, then why are you asking? Right? You can ask like how it went, what they thought, and everything like that. But like you're looking for actual like advice on everything. You know they don't know. Then why are you asking? Yeah. It's one of those. You care what like and don't take that wrong. Every dancer like cares what you think. Probably even more than her, more than each other. So that's why it's so important. Once again, there's a reason, core memory of my mom at my worst moment, going, I
Okay, two questions on the same topic. When you did like the first step of the different thing and that whole thing, how did you taste?
Oh, I didn't. It was, and that was, they used to do real first, so that was my real, it was real then hard shoe test. It was probably the first year I could have recalled, like I was starting to get better, and, that teacher that shook me off, I was practicing my jig for her and her daughter, and her daughter was like, well, I heard something happened, like, it's okay, we can still get it with this round, and she's standing behind me, like, nope, not gonna happen, don't bother, nope. So like, and she was right. Probably like didn't need that in the moment. She was right, that's for sure.
And what if like on competition days where like say like I'm just gonna take a random example. Say like Moira just finished her contract, right? Since you don't need to change shoes, do you go like back to like your parents and teacher, or do you just go backstage?
So meaning, if you finish your hard shoe, you don't have to change shoes, but you have to dance again? It depends. That's the thing. If they do you right away, then they'll be right away. If it was like a rock test or something like that, and you have plenty of time, whatever, change shoes on. Whatever works for you. Obviously, like caving your shoes and all that is hard. So you make a smart decision in the moment. But the answer is it depends. There's no rules. For so much of this, there's no rules. You can do whatever works for you. That's why, like, I think we all get bogged down with like, I'm supposed to do this, or like, the general advice is, I hate general advice. It doesn't work. Because every single one of you is different. They would bring me, if everyone brought me the biggest problem, I guarantee there would be one thing that I hadn't heard before. But each of you, you have to problem solve as unique to you. So there's no supposed to. What's best for you? That's it. It's the only thing that matters. You're all unique. It's in like some people's eyes, like it's a real thing.
How do you deal with where if you make a mistake one of your first rounds and then you need to dance again? Like how do you find your footing again and get back?
Right, so like that's hard. Like that's something you gotta practice in your head ahead of time to like get it in your head. It doesn't matter for the next round. It doesn't affect it. Like if in your first round you dance the entire time with your arms like this, cool. Then we should talk about that before your next round. But like 9 times out of 10 it's something that doesn't apply at all. You have to try to be a goldfish. Like you know that like 3-second memory, like you have to let it go. Whether it's on stage or after or anything like that, it just doesn't affect it. And when you make a mistake or if it wasn't good enough or whatever, you have that like instinct that you gotta make up for it, right? You gotta make up for it in the next round. Like you gotta like I'm gonna make up for it. So you telling me like the plan wasn't already to dance as best you can, and now there's a new level that you can use to make up for the mistake? That doesn't exist, right? If that does exist, then we're doing something wrong in the first place. You're gonna try to go above and beyond, aka do something you've never actually practiced. How do you think that's gonna go? Right? The plan has to be stick to the plan. Like quiet that noise in whatever way you need to. Whether you like convince yourself, whether you just ignore it, whatever you need to do to get away from it, so you can focus on your job from there. Just do your job. It's not about making up for it. Because that's where more silly things happen, or injuries, things like that. You want to just stick to the plan at all times. It's like, it's not fun. Like most of my advice too, like, I don't know how many times I've said to Cassie, it's not fun. Like, you don't have to like this, you just have to do it. Like, you just have to do it. It's hard. But if you practice that in your head ahead of time, like no matter what happens, next round is its own. Your brain will be better at accepting in the moment. So this is good. Practice this in your head. Just like practicing your steps. If there's thoughts you want to have on the day, to practice those thoughts. Not just when you dance. You have to practice those thoughts. If you're afraid of being tired, cool. You're gonna practice not being afraid of being tired. Otherwise, you're gonna be afraid of being tired.
And just following up on Hannah's question, as parents, when they come off the stage, they know they made that mistake, we know that they're upset, and doing exactly what you just said, you know, do we tell them, forget it, just focus? I mean, what can we do to help them get into that mindset you just
That's hard.
established?
That's really hard, cause like, once again, you will probably wanna say the exact right thing. And what do you think, when you say that, what do you think their reaction is gonna be?
Oh, yeah, they
The opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it works, like, we just have to, you have to accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That goes back to like, the pre-competition conversation, if you can go over that, like, what would you need in that moment, what's gonna work? And it's also like, just like the dancing, just like how they're gonna act, just how like you're gonna act. You're not gonna be perfect, alright? And even if you were, they're not gonna accept it. So like, it's just try your best and like, say that, because some dancers, once again, some dancers might need to hear that, like, it doesn't actually matter, but it's like, yeah, you're right, okay. Some might hear that and be like, now I need to obsess about it, just because you said it. It's just, there's no right answer, you know, like, try your best, but like, always through support. Like, if there's a mistake or anything like that, during the day, downplay it. Downplay it. It doesn't matter, we're gonna still try to stay, downplay it. Big time. Afterwards, you can come back to it, like when we're not up here, you're like, hey, so like, I didn't know this and that. Like, and really, that's really your job anyway, to come back to it anyway. That's part of the job. But like, do that, but always through the lens of support. Yes?
So like, say on stage you fell or something like that, like you tripped
Yeah.
would you like just get up and like try to like catch up and be on time and just keep going, or would you just stop?
So there's two different ways to think about it. In general, get up and keep going. Absolutely. Like, I have literally seen judges give a first out of a ruckus because somebody like pretty much fell and like got up and like fought back harder. Like, judges give them first because of it. I asked the judge, like, oh, I loved that. Like, I was considering, and then that, because there's no rules. Well, they tripped, they shouldn't win. Show me in the rule book where it said that. Right? There's no rules. So yeah, your job is like, do your best, get back up, do it. If it's a really bad fall, like whether like it scared you or it hurt, it's okay to take your time and just be there. They'll ring a bell, they'll come help you, all of that. Sometimes when it's like really bad, I know some dancers have like trained themselves to like, if they like fall or trip, they just go down and stay and hope for the bell. You know, like, that's the conversation between you and your teacher. But like, in general, like, yeah, you wanna just keep going. Cause it's also, if you make the attempt to get up and keep going, judges sitting there all day, judging is not a fun job. Sitting all day, like they have to dress so nice, which means they're like hot clothes in like a gym, like you're sweating, can't even go to the bathroom when they want to, all of this. If somebody falls, but like, or trips, and you could keep going, and then you decide not to, they're gonna be like, we're gonna delay this again, like go off, have to wait again. So even if it's not your fault, they're not gonna like actually like be mad at you. Or, like, they're gonna love you if you like make the attempt to keep going, so they don't have to do that. Like, that's a way to get a judge on your side. Does that make sense?
Like, if you're like practicing dance for like the whole day, and then like you go on stage and like you stutter and like you can't like get back into the rhythm.
Right.
Like, how can you have like the right mindset to just like clear your mind and keep going?
It's just keep going. They don't know your steps. Like,
Or, like, what if it's a dance that they do know the steps, like for
like a
example,
trad step. Yeah, then you just have to, once again, the rule always is just keep going. Like, even if you screwed up and they know and all that, you still, like, if you stop or anything like that, then you could be disqualified. If you make a mistake and keep going, they can still place you up. Like, once again, show me in the rule book, even for trad sets, it says they have to give you a certain mark because you made a mistake. They're not. If you have the best dancing and you made a little mistake, they might still make like you the most. So the rule is always just keep going. It's unfortunate if they do know, of course, but you just gotta keep going. That's a skill you have to work on, like, cause that's gonna help you in any dance. Whether it's here, there, whatever, any dance, you make a mistake, you keep going. Unless Lauren stops you, you keep going. And like, smile. You know how many people do make mistakes in trad sets and the judge still didn't catch it? They're trying to think of so much and watch multiple and all these things. You don't know if they got it. You won't know until after. So your job is to keep going.
these are kind of like two sort of like things that are sort of the same. So like, what if there's somebody like this happened at my first fest. There was somebody trying to copy me. So when we were dancing and they were like right up next to me. So like, what would you do if like something like that happened, or if like you crashed into something?
Yeah, so like the crash and things, those happen. Like we want to do our best. It's also why we want to have our brains clear, not thinking about what we need to do on stage, so that you can use your brain to try to navigate around people. Because it's not about not using our brain. We need to use it for the things that are on stage. Like people running around on stages, we need to have our brain clear. But it's gonna happen. So one, like, do you know that there's a possibility that you might like bump or crash? So we gotta plan for it. Two dancers that I work with in the same school, Adel Islands, 4 bars in, got cut off for a month. And not ideal, of course. One had been working on, we literally had talked about it, and worked on like, okay, if this happens, like, that sucks, but like, okay, I gotta keep going, go over there. And that's what she did. The other one got bumped, for some reason, not even on her radar that could possibly ever happen, completely flustered her, she crumbled. Like the whole dance was ruined because of that. It was so unfortunate. And 2 weeks later, she called herself out. She was like, I don't know why I didn't have that on my radar. Like, of course that could happen. So you have to plan like what to do. You don't need a perfect plan. You just have to keep going. Can you control what that other dancer is doing, whether they're too close or in your way or whatever? What can you control?
You could like, even if it's not the actual direction that you were taught if they're dance, you could try to like.
Yeah, just try, right? So like, if you can't control them, who can you control?
Yourself.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. Like, that's why you gotta be ready for anything, because you know what to do. But then, all you need to be able, you have to have those plans though, for whether younger, lower levels, higher levels, whatever. I would be in the corner, like, say I had like a blind, like backwards turn. I would have 6 different game plans. Like, if I turn, no one's there, great. If I turn, they're coming at me, they're in my way, like, I would have a plan for everything that could happen. So if it happened, I knew what to do. Doesn't mean it went well, but what happened was my brain knew what to do, and I didn't freak out. We want to avoid freakouts. That's the number one thing. All day, and especially on stage, we want to avoid freaking out. Because that's when it all goes away. You're so tired in your second step left foot, freak out and panic, then we pace ourselves and we don't do our job right, because we panic. Let me ask you, all of you, same thing with bumping or whatever, all of you with panic of getting tired. Why are you surprised that you're tired? Every time, why is it surprising us? Everyone goes on stage with the hope, like, I hope this is the one time I don't get tired. Right? Never gonna happen. Stop being surprised by it, plan for it. Plan for getting tired. Things like that. So anything that could happen, we don't want to dwell on it. We just want to make a little checklist of what to do, and then we have our plans. And then visualize the best things to do.
Excuse me, how much do you encourage, visualization of dances
10,000%.
instead of physical?
10,000%.
Okay, and do
Yep.
you encourage that with the music, without the
Both.
music, both?
Yep. The more visualization you have, your body, right, they don't know the tools. Like, you can do it just with your hands, and just with your feet sitting. It's about doing it the right way every single time, and it's all about the messages. Muscle memory, the term muscle memory is a lie. It's what messages you're sending from your brain to your nerves to your muscles. So like, the more you practice the messages, the more you're able to do that. And like 2 examples. One, I've always had bad knees, like dancing, and one of my friends, he's one of the best light shoe, long leg extension dancers I've ever met. And I was just always doing this. This is how I don't even realize I'm doing it. I was like going through my steps, and somebody was like, hey, stop doing that. What? He was like, stop doing that. Your knees are terrible. So like, start, whether it's on your hand or a table, like, do everything like this from now on. And I was like, I got nothing else to do, so I'm trying to do everything else. It is the fastest I've ever seen anything improve. Because my brain didn't know I was telling my fingers, it just knew that. So like, I just started doing it. And then, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the book or the movie The Secret. It's all about manifesting and visualization and all of that. It's dated now, so it's kind of weird. But it's they're putting things out into the universe. I don't understand it, but I 1000% believe in it. Visualizing and manifesting, the practical side of it, is, it's just constant reminders. It's like, like the vision board, like, it just reminds you every day what you want. Like when you're visualizing manfully, you're just reminded all the time. My buddy, he watched The Secret, started working on that, and he won the world championship. Then he gave it to me and his girlfriend at the time. The next year, we both won the world. So, like, it works. That's all I can say. Because it's more about that than your body. And the more you train correctly, both with your body and with your brain, the less you like to dance. That's the thing. They all know this story, but I went from terrible, the worst in my competition, to 6th in the world in 1 year. And I did not practice outside of class once. Just because in class, I was dancing the correct way every single time. Every time. No other option. Don't get me wrong, I also needed to practice outside class. My friends, once I got to Riverdance, they're like, Scott, if you actually practice, you could win anything. And I was like, no. And then I'm like, let's try it.
When you practice at home, would you encourage us doing full things?
It depends on what you need the most. And it's also, like, because I work with so many different dancers from so many different schools, and every school is different. Whatever you're doing here, you don't need to be doing at home. If you're doing fulls and stamina here, you don't need to be doing that. Break it down, get the details. I know some schools, all they're doing is like breaking down the details and doing that in class. They never do stamina. So then I have to tell that dance, sorry, at home, you better be doing stamina. So it's like, about getting whatever you need to work, once again, listen to your teacher about what your biggest things are. But if you're just gonna go through your steps, not thinking and changing anything, you're just practicing your bad habits. Right? So like, if you're doing your steps and your fulls here, like, you should spend the time at home, like, drilling and writing things down. And vice versa.
I have a question because it hasn't been asked yet, and it's kind of a two-part question. And it's something that I've noticed that both my kids and my parents can do sometimes. And the first part is, how do you stop yourself from comparing yourself to others in your competition? And the second part is, what do you do when you find yourself comparing to somebody in this studio?
That's great questions. It's one of those things that it's, first of all, like, validate that makes sense. It told, like, we're in a sport that we're ranked against others, and there's a panel of people that are literally paid to judge us, right? So it makes sense that our brains go to like comparing and judging ourselves and all that. Once again, it goes back to being productive. Is thinking about that right here, right now, actually helping? Because if you're doing it in a way like, oh, I love how they do that jump. I'm noticing that they like put their leg out. Okay, so maybe I need to do, that's different. That's studying. Do just go straight up and do it. Is that helping us at all? Ever? It's one of those things. It's how they do it. Plus, the big thing is also, like, think about the judges and the judging. There's no rules. It's all opinions. So like, you, oh my God, they're so good at these like jumps. Cool. What if you get a panel of judges that don't care about jumps? Like, it's just, you don't know. That's the thing. Like, you need to focus on your strengths and what you're doing, not just comparing to them. Because also, if somebody's amazing at something and that's a weakness of yours, you're never going to beat them at their own game. It's not like, if I try, that friend of mine that like told me about that, he was a world champ. He ended up coming back the year I won worlds because he wanted to like make a run at like winning seniors. And I was like, man, really? Like, you can't just like wait one more year. But he was one of the best, like jumping, like extended, all the, if I tried to even remotely beat him at his game, I wouldn't have danced like me. And I wouldn't have got those two judges. Neither of them would have even liked me. 3 out of 5 didn't even like me anyways. But like, they wouldn't have liked me for what I gave. Because, oh my goodness, I couldn't beat him at his game if I tried. And it's also, when you know you're susceptible to that, like I knew if I was even in the room and heard the applause after his reel, because even my workshop teacher, she knew him well. She's like, everyone's going for second. And I was like, yep. She's like, so let's not spend time on it. It has to be pretty good. Like, we're not gonna try to beat him there. I knew if I was even in the room hearing like, he had just swept Elias. Perfect score. And this is who I was trying to beat. So literally, like, I knew if I was even in the room, I would be crushed. all those things. So I knew, don't be in the room. Like luckily I was like early in the rotation, so dance got out. But if I had to do that, I literally would have stayed outside and had somebody call me in once he was done. It's when it goes back to, if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, why are we doing it? So it's just one of those things, if you know you're susceptible to it and it affects you, you need to take steps to not let that happen in front of us as best as we can. It's also practicing that, not just at the competition or in here. It's one of those things that, especially if you're in here and you're comparing yourselves to others, and a lot, like any dancer, like sometimes feel like if you do something that's silly, like everyone's watching and judging it. Do you feel that way? Even in here? Do you spend your class watching everybody and judging them if they make a mistake? You're like, oh, I'm an idiot. No, neither are they. Everyone, including your parents, all of us are way too self-absorbed. We're only worried about ourselves. And this is the thing, maybe there might be one person like this. I've seen so many schools, like maybe there's like a person like that. Cool. Is that really the person that you care about their opinion? The one that just wants to be negative and judge everybody anyway? No. So like, it's just one of those things that you gotta realize no one else is doing it, it's you doing that. And we gotta use it for good. You're comparing that, they're amazing at that, especially if you go ask them how they do it. Like ask them for help. So there's just like, oh, they're so much better than me. Okay. Like, it's one of those things that everyone's different. It doesn't help us at all. It's that way. It doesn't help us.
If you have like a few minutes before you go on stage and you only have time to do one of the two things, would you think that we should do something like with a mindset, or should we practice our dances?
You should make sure that your body and your brain are both warmed up. So like practicing your dances, like if you need to practice your dance right before in order to do your dance well on stage, you failed. If it's a brand new step, that's different, of course. But like you shouldn't need to practice. Go over it, like so you feel better about it, great. Like I do that, to go over the steps. Like if you need, it's more about like, are you getting your body ready? Like, say, once again, it goes back to whatever you need. If you need to like make sure your legs are warm up to hip high, but you're practicing your steps instead of stretching, then that's not good. So it's whatever you need to do. Brain, body, whatever.
How much of a impact on the final score is a dancer's wig and solo dress?
I hate to say it, but more than I should. Because it matters. Because judges are judging not on an actual point system. Like it's just a rank. Like the raw scores is literally just ranking. It's not a grade. It's not anything like that. It's not like they see one thing like -3 points. It's just how do they feel? Just how do they feel about the person? And when you look better, they feel better about it. Should that matter? No, but it does. It's one of those like it's one of those I hate it, but like we can't do it. I once like I was at a national or something and my hair was really stupid. Like I look back now, I'm like that was really bad hairstyle and I needed a haircut. My teacher was obsessed. All she kept telling me, you have to get a haircut before you get something. I was like, no, I didn't. And then like now I know like it's one of those things that like I guarantee it was also a distraction away from my good dancing. They're like, what is this character? And when they're thinking about that, they're not thinking about your dancing. So like it's just most judging is subconscious. My buddy, the same one that won the worlds the year before me, watching The Secret, he was at All Ireland's once. He finished his set, and the judge with the belt, she was just staring at him for an awkward amount of time. And finally, she just like rang the bell and like glared at him the whole way off. Shouldn't have given him first. And he saw her sometime later. And he's like, hey, I gotta ask, why were you staring at me? She's like, oh, I was trying to decide if I liked your vest or not. I decided I did. I don't think that's what gave him the first, but that's what she was thinking. So like, it shouldn't, but it does. It does.
Sorry to follow up to that. What about just like when they're done dancing or they're waiting to dance and their presence, how they're standing? Like, are they just paying attention?
100%. Yeah. It's like the second you are in the vision of the judges, they are judging you. Like, they can tell They can tell if someone's good or bad before you even walk on stage. And like, so you need to be showing that you're amazing, you're a champ before you even walk on. That goes back to the confidence. You wanna, and it doesn't matter about feeling it, it's acting. You can be absolutely peeing your pants, but look like you're not, like look like you know exactly what you're doing. And that very much matters.
Someone peed their pants at nationals and we saw it on the stage.
Oh, geez. That's wrong. It happens. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
Would you say the same thing about looking like you're enjoying what you're doing, or do you think just looking like you're confident makes more difference?
So that's gonna be whatever is the best choice for each dancer. It's once again trial and error. Some people like smile, doesn't look good. Like some people like whether it's like bitchy face or this or that, like you gotta find the right choice for you. But it's all about like it has to be somewhat genuine for you as well.
Okay.
It has to be real. Anyone can paint on a smile, and like first of all, you should all be so proud of them. They had that performance workshop on Friday morning. I've never seen this many dancers all at once perform the way that they are. It's so great. But it's so important. It's part of their sport. How do they feel about you? How do they feel about you? They're judging more subconsciously than consciously. They're experts, so if you ask them why, like they'll be able to figure out why. And they're not actually having to think about it, especially now that they're major, because they don't have to write comments. They're just like, yeah. That's really how it is.
Okay, so something that is genuine.
Yes, genuine. I mean, try different things. And this is, I coach dancers in shows. The second you're bored of your face, change it. Change it. You don't have to smile the entire time, but like, do something engage with your face, with your mouth. Like, do like each part. What do you want to show to the room? Do that with your face. One of my favorites was one of my buddies from my school. He ended up winning awards. I took this from him. The slow blink. He'll be like doing something like super easy. He's just dancing. He's like, it's just this like, I don't know, like stuff like that. It's like we have like a ceiling to how much we can act on stage. Use it. So just like, and plus like when we don't do that here, then by the end it's like, whatever you want to do on stage, do it here. That's the thing. It has to be like, it has to be genuine for you, not just like it doesn't feel real.
Sometimes I'll smile on stage and then my face will go numb and when I got off the stage I'll have to ask myself, did I smile the whole time?
That's the thing. So like, how do we fix that? Smile every time in here. Every time. Does that feel silly, smiling here? Like I'm sure you guys went over that in the performance, like it feels silly doing it here. We have a rule in river dance and motor dance. If you don't feel like an absolute clown, it's not enough. I would go on tour, the last seat in the arena, and just sit there and look at the stage, tiny little stage from the last seat, and I'm like, I have to entertain them with my energy from here? And I couldn't smile bigger. I couldn't put my arms up bigger. It was just the energy and all of that. And I would love to tell dancers, if you can do that for the person in the back of the room, imagine what the judges feel. Don't stop at the judges. Try to entertain the people that are with whatever way works for you. Don't just paint on one line and stick with it. So boring. So boring. They know you have to breathe. Breathe on purpose. Don't try to hide it. Breathe on purpose. I would do it I would literally use that. Like one thing I did to my buddy, starting my third step, big old like obnoxious, over dramatic, like I did not need to do that. But did that scream to the room like I'm working so hard? It worked for me. But that's what worked for me.
So in speaking to when you say, entertain those people in the back, that's where the girls should be looking too, right? Like they should not be
Yes.
looking
Stop looking at the
like the
judges.
judges.
Stop it. It's weird. It's weird. Like even a few of you, I was like, I'll be over here. You're like looking over me, or you're looking over at Ron. Stop it.
Because I often hear them say like, oh, this judge didn't look at me the entire time. Well, like you shouldn't be looking.
It's
at
like,
the
why
judge.
were you looking at the judges?
So
That's the first thing that comes out of my
who's
mouth.
watching you.
Why are you looking at the judges? Yeah, you can't. Like obviously, if they're like in your vision, like, that, cool, you're not gonna avoid them, like, stop looking at them in the eyes. I want, how would you feel if you're like, here, and someone's dancing, and they're just like. Weird, all right? That's like, stop being like weird. That's the thing. A lot of these things, like, and I said to the forehand, stop doing weird skips and drills. Like, stop, like, doing weird weight shifts. Stop doing it, like, it will serve you so well, no joke. My hair I was talking about, don't be weird. Like, they're judging you as humans. So, like, the more they like you as a human, the more they like you. Don't do weird things. That's things like that. Stuff like that. It's so strange.
I'm in the corner, but I have a question, so I have to dog that. She's not attached to her chair anymore. What could you recommend for the dancers and the parents on how to handle, let me find a way to phrase this. How do we help guide them to have good sportsmanship when they're really disappointed in the scores on the day of?
Right. That's, once again, that's one that it's hard. It's hard. It's absolutely hard. First of all, you're allowed to be disappointed. 100%. I encourage being disappointed when you're disappointed, because then you can use that. We can't rely on motivation. But like, if you get like your heart crushed, guess how much of a fire that's going to be on you for those days that you don't want to work. I love like when somebody's going through that, I know, like a rough motivation day. I'm like, hey, do you ever want to feel like that ever again? And they're like, let's go. So it's valid. That being said, we don't want to do that in front of everybody because we don't want to conscious of everyone else. We want to be a good sport, all of that. Smile, take it with grace, all of that. We were joking last night with a dancer around my age that any dancer around my age, if you ask them like, oh, like bad sportsmanship on stage, they're like, oh, and I'm not gonna say it, but like everyone knows the one dancer. They're like, oh, like this, like her. And everyone's like, yeah. She would always be able to say scalp if she so you don't have to, once again, it's acting. You're allowed to be disappointed. If you need to, like you can't control the big feelings and all that, and like you're gonna be crying and like, it's okay, step out of the room. That's okay. If you can't control it, step out of the room. That's okay. But we don't want to do that because what if you maybe didn't get what you wanted and you're crushed and crying, but you beat somebody that they just got like the best they've ever, and they thought, oh my God, this is my best day ever. And they see you doing that, they're like, well, maybe I didn't do that great. They're better than me, and like, they're crying about it. Like, am I bad? Am I like? That's the thing. You don't know what everybody else is going through. Not that it's your job to worry about everyone else, but it's something you have to practice, good sportsmanship. We used to get, in my school, we would get red. If you even like, looked like you weren't happy on stage for awards or something like that, my teacher's like, I will walk on there and drag you off myself. So we don't want to go that far, but it's one of those things, it's really important. It's important because it's important. It's hard though, so you have to practice it. You have to do your best. You're not gonna be perfect. Like if you have like a tear in your eye and it's like coming down, that's okay. Like you can't like just like force yourself to not have a tear come out, but like still smile on stage, all of that. You gotta just do your best. Both are true. That's the hard part there. Both are true. You're allowed to feel that way. You don't want to do that in front of everyone. Not because feelings are bad. It's about sportsmanship. Like plenty of time, whether it's after or in your room or whatever, break down, crying, whatever you need.
You spoke to this a little bit already, but I was just told to ask a question. She is working on not yelling at me, and I am working on my reaction to that, which wants to be like, we're leaving now.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for that?
It's, while you're working on it, acknowledge it's gonna happen. Like, both of you are probably going each day hoping it's not gonna happen. Like, that's not how it works. Progress is like, it's gonna take time. So it's gonna happen. You're gonna get triggered. Like, she's gonna speak to you. All right, we're out. So like, it's gonna happen. Just acknowledge it so that like ahead of time, and practice it in your brain too. That like, this is gonna happen. Try not to, because your brain will have enough studying that. Maybe your brain will like, wait, I knew this was gonna happen. Maybe let's not do this time. It's just gonna take time. And that's like for her as well. And like try not to yell at your mom. It's hard. Like for both of you, and both of you like getting into like understandable. that's the thing, don't deem it, it's not okay to speak to your parents that way. But like, the context of it, you have to understand that like, you're gonna be feeling that way, you might snap at them. And it is one of those, like, until we get that gone, acknowledge it's still gonna happen. Acknowledge it's not because they're actually ungrateful or hate you in the moment or anything like that, which like that's just hard for you parents anyways on those tough days. But it's just, it's almost like that pre-forgiveness that you have to give to each other. Like, I know this might happen, I know like, we're gonna be good, we're working on this. But until it's gone, you have to just know it's gonna happen. Because it's also the like, surprise of it, it's like, excuse me? I know, but once again, if it's happening all the time, why are we surprised? And like, I'm sure, big picture, when you like sit and think about it, like, you know why, like she's so upset herself or stressed and all those things, so. Once again, not a free pass to speak to your parents that way, but like, understanding is at the core. Like, it's gonna take time, but it's also like, answers parents, like, one snaps, then the other snaps, and the other snaps more, and it's a snowball. So like, if we can even just like, stop it from getting as worse as it usually does, huge progress, huge. And then eventually we just get better and better and better. Me, at my best, literally 22 years old, my mom like wanted like pin on my, like, I'd snap at her. Absolutely. It doesn't go away, unfortunately. And it's like, that's just like parents, kids anyway, never mind in a high stress environment. So it's understanding at a time, but just, it's the surprise of it that makes it the worst. It's the same thing as them being surprised at someone else. That's your version of yourself. All of a sudden it's treating you that way. It's hard. It's really hard. But knowing it's gonna happen ahead of time is half the battle. So that we can try to like practice and practice.
With sportsmanship, this happened to my friend. He told a girl, "You're really good," and when the girl said, "I know," what do you say after that?
What, great question. What do we say after that? It just, all right, cool. But it's also like, if she's really good, in a way, that's really healthy. If she is really good, if she knows she's really good. Like, that's the thing. We're practicing being cocky every day, right? You know you're good, and so you're really good. Or you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was. That's not good. It's one of those things. I don't know. My friend, the one that like helped me, that he was a world champ and all that, one person came up to him, he had won the nationals the year before, they were side stage, and the dude, I don't know how he didn't know who he was, but he was like bragging to my friend about how amazing he was, and he was gonna do so good today, and like, he was one of the best ones here. And my friend was like, I won this last year, and I'm trying to win it again this year. Who do you think you're talking to? Like, he gave his mouth shut, he didn't say any of that, but in his head, he's like, you're a fool. Because like, but he didn't say anything about that. That's the, you don't need to like, do that to everybody. Just, but that's a weird reaction, right? It's okay that it's weird. I don't know what to say about that either.
Alright, I do wanna make sure that we have at least 5 minutes before his lesson, so do we have any last really important questions? Anything, parents, I'm surprised I'm not hearing a little more questions from you guys, because I feel that a lot of concern come to me, and so he's a great source of information right now, because I also think you guys get tired of hearing from me sometimes, because I tell you the same things, so let him tell you.
Yeah, seriously. And also, just for everyone, in case I forget to say it, parents, answer to anyone, I don't care if it's like 10 minutes after I leave today. Like, if you ever have any questions, mindset, dancing, anything like that, ever, please find me on either Instagram or something, send me a message, get my number, because I'm always open to helping and answering questions. Never bother.
When are you coming back?
Great question. Was that gonna be your question?
I have a question, and I apologize, I came late if you already answered it. But just if dancers are having a time where they don't want to do any rehearsal at home or outside of class, as a parent, what do you do? Like, do you just completely leave it up to them? Do you have any like?
It's hard. In the moment, it's really hard. Once again, it comes to those like bigger picture conversations of like what do you want and why? Like I asked, we started yesterday with everybody asking them their like dream goals, and like how bad they want it and all that. So it's one of those things that, it's also, like, 'cause you have to know if they have like these goals and they don't really want it, like they're doing it for fun, they're doing like, then why would it be a problem if they're not practicing, right? That's all that matters, like how much they want it. I'm not ever gonna force somebody like, you should do what I did if you don't wanna win the world, that's fine. So it's more about knowing that and finding ways to encourage and remind them of that. Because once again, they're wired, so like, you need to practice, what are they gonna do? Like, well, I'm not practicing today then. That's the thing, like, it's really hard. If they're not, even if they do practice because you reminded them or like you force them, if they're not thinking about their why, they're not gonna practice the correct way. So it always comes back to like why and how badly they want it and all of that. Because you don't, it's also, if you haven't had that conversation, how do you know if they do? Like if they're, I love asking questions, and there weren't really things here, but the other day I did this at a school, and there was like one or two, I was like, how badly do you want? They're like, not really. And like, I asked them a few questions to make sure. They were telling the truth. I'm like, cool. Like, I'm not gonna push you the same way. Like, I'm not gonna be mad if you're not trying that hard. Great, you're here to have fun. There's one dancer ever that genuinely, she's telling the truth, that she didn't care at all. She'd go to a fest, get dead last, and go, cool, can we go to McDonald's? And she was maybe my favorite to work with in the studio. Because she was always respectful, gave effort, did what we asked. But like, wasn't worried about it. She was just like stress-free, right? And that's the thing, like, how badly they want it. It's also like, it's hard because you want to hold them accountable. They're your kid, like you want to help them, but we have to detach, like, they don't want to fail. Sometimes that's the biggest thing. You have to let them fail. No reflection on you. There's no reflection on you. It does say like, it's hard with teachers too, like thinking about it. I have the easy job. I just come in and out, and it doesn't affect me at all. Like, I care, and oh my gosh, I want you to do so well. But if you don't do the work and then don't do it, I'm like, okay. Like, it's just you guys. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes you have to let them fail, and then if failing doesn't bother them, then they don't want it that bad, and that's okay. If failing bothers them, it's like, hey, remember that feeling? Like, and then they can use that as more fire. It's like, forcing is hard. It's like those conversations. If you have a conversation with them, they're like, yeah, there's gonna be some days that I don't want to and all that. Like, are you okay with me like making you go practice? If they've given you the thumbs up for that, then go ahead and make it. Like, if you don't know if they want it or not, because it's any age, any level, it's only on them. It's not on any of you. Like, you didn't fail because you didn't make them practice enough. That's not how it works. They didn't practice enough. That's how it works. It's hard. It's one of those, you have to have that conversation ahead of time.
Thank you so much, Scott. We have learned so much, girls and parents. I hope you absorbed everything he said this weekend. Because I think you've heard a lot of it from me, but I think you've heard it in a new way, which is really important and sometimes more helpful. So we're really grateful for you being here and sharing all of your expertise and experience. I know I really gotten a lot out of it, so I hope you all have too.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Like, thank you for bringing me in. Dancer, thank you so much for your focus and attention. And like, there was not one person that was a problem or like pushback. I usually have one or two that like, they just like want to have an attitude, be the cool one or something like that. And I have a lot of fun with it because I will put them in their place. But nobody in here did that. Like, this is a really great environment. This whole place, it's all of you. I meant what I said in that first 10 seconds yesterday. You have so much potential. And now like, oh, you just have potential. You literally have potential. Every single one of you was instantly better at least once this week. Imagine if you do that all the time. Imagine. So that's the fun part. Like, oh, you should have been doing this. You're all this good and not even maxing up. Oh my goodness. Imagine what you could do. Remember all those big dreams all of you had? Those shows, winning things, whatever? I mean this wholeheartedly. Every single one of you can. Can. Okay, what the dream was. Even like, I forget, one was like, this is way too big. No, it's not. I did that. Literally, you can. This city can pull it off. You figure it out. So can you. literally. You can absolutely do it. All you need, just start trying. You don't have to believe it, just try, just try. Because you can. I believe in you, 100%. I just need you to believe in me. Because I can't control your life, unfortunately. Lauren and I wish we could control your life. That'd be nice. 100% believe that you can do it. I know you can. Deal? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Please, and know how I asked Lauren, anyone maybe try a little harder than normal? And she's like, yeah, a lot. Cut that out. It has to be every time. Shouldn't be just because I'm here. All right? Do that for Lauren every single time. Great job, seriously. Thank you so much.